Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is Birminology, and once again, it is a commitment edition of the show. Today, Sam Williams-Dixon, a three-star athlete from down the road in Pickerington, Ohio, has decided to end his recruitment and commit to the Buckeyes. He's going to join the show and tell us all about that decision right now. Sam Williams-Dixon joins us now. Sam, congratulations, first and foremost. Get that out of the way. I know this process, since Ohio State offered in January, the Buckeyes have been the team to beat in this recruitment for you. But you took your time. You know, you told me when I was out seeing you at West Holmes High School in January that you wanted to make sure that you were, doing your due diligence and taking a look at everything. Here we are 4 months later, decision made, you committed to Ohio State. How does it feel to just have that out there and have people know it now?
It's a big relief, like this recruiting process has been kind of overwhelming, but, I'm going through it slowly. So it's been good so far.
Now, what was it about this last? I guess let's break down the secret walls here. You probably told Ohio State you were in March 1st, right? So it's been almost 5 weeks, 6 weeks since you let the coaches know. But that coincided right with the time that you moved high schools. You were transferred to Pickerington North High School. And I think the decision was sort of made to let you get acclimated and let things settle down in your whole life before making that decision. How good does it feel to know that this was handled in a way that was, I guess, controlled? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I felt good about my decision about, making a move down here. People I'm around.
Now, what's been that process like for you so far?
Hear me?
Yeah, lost the picture there. So
Right.
what 3, 2, 1. What has that process been like for you so far? The move, the switch to new high school, like how has that helped you? What's been the biggest challenge that you've had to face since you've been at Pick North?
It wasn't easy, but my family got my back, and they always know what's right for me. So I listened to them, and they got me where I needed to be at, and got everything situated where I can do great in school and do good at home with my mom and everything.
No, that's a big shift from Millersburg, Ohio, and West Holmes High School to Pick North. You're going into one of the biggest schools in the state and one of a Division I program. Do you feel like it's given you some validation that you needed, mentally in the last couple of months to say, hey, I am this level of athlete?
Yeah, I definitely got that sense of mentality where I can play anywhere. I can play D1, D3, and all that. Just because the division I changed doesn't mean I'm gonna play bad or anything. I'm gonna still play like I usually play.
Let's go back through these spring visits. Ohio State opened up their spring practice slate on March 1st. You were there that day. You were there again 2 weeks later. You've been back since. I mean, how important has it been for you to be closer to Columbus and closer to Ohio State to help build this relationship to make this decision now?
Being there all the time, getting to talking to those guys, keep talking to them, and just building that relationship even more than I already had.
Tony Alford is the guy that's been leading this recruitment. You told me when I was at the high school in January that, you guys talked a lot of times and it was not about football. How has that relationship continued to grow? And outside of Tony Alford, how is the relationship now with Ryan Day, with the rest of the staff? And are you feeling like, this is home and that it's, where you want it to be?
Everything's not about always football, that. And Alfred's told me that, he's been my big role model to me, and just making sure I'm all right. Having those conversations, like you said, that not involving football, it's been great to, have those talks with him. He's another father figure to me, so, and with Coach Day, I'm beginning to talk to him more and more as past times I've been going, and it's been going great.
When you're there on campus, I mean, the last time that I saw you there on campus, you looked pretty comfortable. You looked like you were you didn't have a tour guide walking you around anymore. You kind of got to go where you wanted and do what you want. Has it struck you? Has it struck you how awesome that is? Like for a kid from Ohio to have that opportunity?
Yeah, it's feel like a dream. You just when I was there, I was happy. I felt like I was home, and that's when I made my decision right there that day. I told Tony Alford that day. So
Your final three schools was Ohio State, it was Penn State and Kentucky. How challenging was the conversations with the other schools to let them know that you were shutting it down?
it was definitely a challenge. I didn't know what they were going to say. One of them, I'm not going to say any names. They didn't take it pretty well, but it's life, I guess.
Well, you will learn as this process continues and as life continues. There's always times when you're going to disappoint people, I guess. So you just got to figure
Right.
out how to make it, matter for you and your family. Ohio State added a running back commitment in James Peoples a few weeks ago. You obviously are running back at Pick North. I know that there's been some discussion about the fact that you're an athlete and you can play a lot of different spots. How have those conversations gone? And how comfortable are you coming in and saying, hey, I'm going to compete and just put me on the field anywhere. I don't care where it is.
Like I really don't care, about all that stuff, all that talk. But I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna compete either running back, receiver, any of those types of positions. I'm gonna compete. I'm a competitor.
For a young fella from Ohio, when you sit down at the end of the day and Saturday's coming and you're going to make this announcement to the world, is it nerves? Is it excitement? Is it like, I'm glad this is over? What is the overriding feeling that you have knowing that this day is finally here?
It's so much excitement right now. Like just me talking to you right now. I think it's Wednesday night, like 8 o'clock. I just can't wait till Saturday to make it known to people that I'm staying home. Like I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio. I wasn't really originally from, Millersburg, Ohio, but this is my home and I want to stay here.
Your commitment is one in what has become a pretty impressive run that Ohio State has been on the recruiting trail. I think, up to more than in double digits now in commitments. The recruiting momentum is really picking up. How do you feel like you're able to help build on this? And what type of role do you think you can play, Sam, as a recruiter with other guys?
I think I could be I don't talk that much, I'm not really a vocal leader, but, I'm a silent leader, I'll make sure I'm doing it right with people watching me, and just once they watch me do what I do and, be a leader, like not a, vocal leader, but silent leader, they will soon follow.
I'm sure you've seen, the Twitter buzz, the back and forth between some Ohio State commitments and some Michigan commitments and that kind of stuff. How hard is it to stay out of that mix? I mean, I know, as you said, you're not a real talkative guy. You're not on social media a lot. So how does it feel for you to see that stuff? And, are you just laughing about it behind the scenes, or is it just fuel for you guys in Ohio that see some of the stuff that's been said?
It's so much feel, not only like for everyone else, but for me, definitely. Cause I grew up with all this like beef and all that between Ohio and the team up north. I want to beat them as bad as anybody wants to is on that team right now. Then
As
all the yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Now all the beef and all that right now. Everyone talking on social media and Twitter. I sit back and laugh at it sometimes, but what? Something I want to say, but like I'm sort of wait till next year.
Which guys in the class have you gotten closest with, Sam? Who do you talk with the most, and what relationships inside of the class have really helped you feel comfortable and being committed?
For me, Garrett Stover. He's been my role model. He's a very good guy. I talk to him a lot. He's the type of dude you want to be around.
I think that's something that people oftentimes lose sight of in this process, and how important it is for the kids that are committed in this class or to be around guys that are like them, right? The guys that are good kids and that have their mind focused on the right things. When you're at Ohio State and you're there visiting with other recruits, do you notice that? I mean, you've been on other trips and you've been to other places. Is it different at Ohio State than it has been at other schools in that respect?
It's way different. Everyone's locked in. Everyone's participating and watching. Because it's fun. You're going to be there and watching and playing in the game. So it's not like any other place I've been to.
You grew up in Ohio. You grew up rooting for the Buckeyes. How has your family handled this and knowing that, you're going to be playing football at Ohio State in a year from now? Like how's their reaction been?
They're very pumped. They can't stop calling me about it. My mom can't stop talking about it. Everyone might think it was like them like leading me towards that, but no, they never once said you need to go here, you need to go there. It was all me. They never played a part in where I should go, and them, so they're 100% happy with where I picked. So
I know that there's a number of reasons that players commit to specific schools. If you had to break down one primary reason why Ohio State was the choice for you and why you're ending your recruitment today, what would it be?
the relationship I had with Tony Alford, everyone I talk to you say that. I'm sorry. Everyone say that. Relationships is not the way to pick a school with a head coach. I'm not head coach, but just assistant coach, because they can leave at any time. But I feel like that's what drives you to that school. Like having that relationship with your assistant coach. They're going to talk to you. That you're going to be around them like 90% of the time at the college. So you have a good relationship with them and have that relationship with them, and have just being comfortable with them. So that's where I am with
commitment's over. The commitment's over. The relationship is there. You're now 15 minutes away from the school. You can pop in as often as you want. I assume you'll be on campus for pretty much every summer camp that they have this year, just getting in some extra work. How do you get better, Sam, from now till the end of your senior year to put yourself in a position where, we both acknowledge the fact you're probably a little bit underrated as far as the rankings and stuff go. Those things don't matter in the big picture. You are committed to Ohio State. That's what really matters the most, but it still drives you. How do you get better from here to the time that you sign your letter of intent in December? What's your primary focus?
My primary focus for on the field is being more detailed in the game. The game is more detailed than the physical in the game of football. And I think me learning the game more will make me better than anybody in the country.
How much does that matter? I mean, again, I know we just said it doesn't ultimately matter because you have the offer from Ohio State. You're committed to the Buckeyes. That in itself is worth much more than any national network's ranking. But is it something that does fuel you or motivate you, or is it, no sweat off your back and you just let it roll off your shoulders?
Oh no, it definitely fuels me. It fuels me a lot. It brings that fire in me.
Well, I'm glad for you that I have this out of the way and you can focus on your senior season. I'm glad for Ohio State fans in Columbus who are going to get to watch you play a little bit easier this year, and being down the road at Pick North, and you got to learn a couple of other things like how to hate Pick Central. You got to figure out the way to figure out which rivalries are most important. But there's a lot of things ahead of you. And Sam, I really appreciate you letting us pick your brain a little bit. I don't want to keep you too long. I know that you're trying to get on with your night. So thank you very much for taking time to talk about your decision with us, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, Baum.
No problem. That is Sam Williams-Dixon. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Birminology on the podcast. We'll catch you next time.